Hi Taurus, it's Rhiannon. Okay, so I'm here to do the forecast for March 23rd through the 31st. It's just a little over a week. I think it's like about 8 days. So yeah, we're going to do a little bit different. We're going to be using Lenormand, which is like my new love. So we're going to, because Lenormand is so easy and quick and accurate, I'm going to be pulling a love reading, a money, and a spirituality. So what you need to know for these last days of March, and we are in Aries season, yay. So here's my little ram. And so yeah, happy Aries season. So I do have a broken nail too, so excuse my nails, but after I do the love, money, and spirituality, we'll do a general forecast for all Tauruses with the tarot deck. Okay, so for Lenormand, depending on what I want to read, if I know I'm doing love, I'm going to put that in the middle and see what we get around it. And I'm not going to go into Lenormand. If you guys want a video on how to read Lenormand, leave me a comment below. But what does Taurus need to know about love for these last days of March? So we have the house. So love can be found at home. Now, again, love readings are not just for single people, but usually it is single people that are asking for the love readings, but I still like to include people that are in a relationship. So for those that are in a relationship, obviously you're, likely going to be living with that person already. So that means quit looking for love outside the home. Make sure that you're creating a loving environment in your home. Maybe clear the home if you guys have had any arguments or bad energy in the home. Taurus, maybe, clear it out so that we can create a loving environment again. Maybe bring in some romance into the bedroom. Okay, that's for people in a relationship. For people outside of a relationship, it makes me think, maybe you have a roommate, or maybe this could have been like representative of your childhood home. So let's kind of keep pulling here and see what we get here. Maybe it's somebody that you knew when you lived at home, and we have the child. So yes, that means that if you're single, maybe going back to your childhood home where you grew up, somebody that you knew as a child, that would be somebody that would be a relationship for you to start blooming, Taurus, okay? And let's see what else we have. We got the dog, which represents loyalty. This person is probably somebody that's been a friend and who's been loyal to you for a long time. And this is something that can create and be a love relationship. And it's time for you to stop looking at them as a friend and start looking at them as a romantic partner. Basically, you have put them in the friend zone, and it's time to take them out of the friend zone. And lastly, we have the stars. And so this is definitely a relationship that is meant to be. This is like your soulmate or twin flame, or, it's a relationship that is definitely destined. You guys are destined to be together. So again, if you're single, quit looking to get them out of the friend zone. Look at somebody that you knew from childhood. If you're in a relationship, be loyal. Don't look outside the home for a relationship. Keep the love in the home. If you're in a relationship but you're not already living together, I would say it's a good time to move in with each other. Take it to the next step. Again, this is a person who's loyal. It's a relationship that's meant to be. So let's take it to that next step. Okay. So that's our love reading for you Tauruses. So now let's go to money. So now I'm going to find the card in the Lenormand that represents the money card, which is the fish. So I'm looking for the fish. Fishy, fishy, fishy. There's the fish. Okay. So I'm just going to put the fish in the middle instead of the locket, and I'll shuffle and we'll see what we have coming up. What do you guys need to know about your money for these last weeks of March for Taurus? Okay. Let me just shuffle. Get these good and mixed up. Oh, we already just have one. This one flipped over. There's the locket. So maybe you're putting too much emphasis on money, Taurus. Your love for money, I don't know. Let's keep pulling and see. But you love money, or maybe money needs to come from a loved one. Let's keep pulling and see. We have the lilies. So the lilies represent somebody older, somebody more mature, wisdom. Yeah, an elder. Maybe you're going to be getting some money from a loved one. So, Taurus, you're not, too far out from your birthday. I mean, we did just get into Aries, but maybe a grandma or an aunt or somebody's going to send you an early birthday card with some money in it. Or if you need money, you could look to somebody who you love, a loved one who's older and wiser. And, sometimes it's not just to ask them for money, but if you're having problems with money, just asking them, hey, you know what, how have you been able to be so successful with your money? What can you teach me? Use their wisdom and allow them to help you, with that. So, let's kind of see what else. Does Taurus need to know about their money? Let's get some clarity on this money situation for Taurus. Is there anything else we need to know? We have the journal. So the journal represents things that are secret, things that you would write about that you maybe wouldn't tell anybody about. Avoiding. So maybe you, an Aries just had some kind of hard lessons. I think finally people are starting to really maybe feel the effects of overspending through the holidays and overindulging and things like that. But, maybe you have some secrets and you haven't been letting people know. And we have the child here. Normally represents innocence, but it can also represent immaturity. Maybe you've been immature with your money and you've been too free and carefree. And you've got some problems and you're kind of hiding it. And that also makes sense because we have the mice, which represents this is kind of eating away at you. You've made some mistakes and you're worried about it and it's kind of causing some chaos. Okay. So, Taurus, kind of like I told Aries, and I hope you guys, if you know all three of your signs, your sun, moon, and rising, I hope you watch all three because you're going to get information that you need to know in all of them. If you don't know all three of your sun, moon, and rising signs, leave me a comment and let me know. Maybe I'll do a video to teach you guys how to do that. So anyway, for you Tauruses, for money, look to an older, wiser person that's been able to be really successful with their money. Either they can help you, doesn't necessarily mean they're there to give you money, but give you wisdom. And, tighten up, quit being so immature with your money, quit being secretive, get everything out there, own it, and that way you can be done with it, okay? So that's your money reading. And now, finally, what you need to know about your spirituality or your spiritual growth for these last days of March. So we're looking for the cross because the cross represents religion and spirituality. So we have the cross here. So now let's shuffle, clear the deck, and just see what does Taurus need to know about their spiritual growth, spirituality for the last days of March. Lessons or what helpers, people, places, things that could be coming into their life to assess them on their spiritual path for Taurus. Take a deep breath, Taurus. There we go. Okay, the grave. So this can mean, somebody that you've lost or something that you've lost. Regrets. Grief. The stars again. So the snake and the stars. So we have the snake, meaning somebody has been dishonest with you. Somebody has hurt you. Somebody's betrayed you and you have a lot of grief over that. And you're carrying that, okay? And you're feeling bad and it's really keeping you down. But the universe is here to let us know that this person that was their job to hurt you. Without this grief, without this pain, you wouldn't be able to grow into the person that you're meant to be. This was something that was predetermined. That person basically agreed to be the person that helped you, and really you should be thanking them. And does it mean you literally have to walk up to them and just say, oh my gosh, thank you so much for like screwing me over or whatever it is that they did to you? No, but instead of carrying the grief in your heart, you should be carrying around gratitude in your heart for the lessons that you've learned and where it's going to take you spiritually. Okay? So that would be your spiritual focus for the next week or so of March. And now finally, we're going to do some tarot just as a collective. Taurus, what does Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising need to know for these last days of March? Yay, spring's here. Hopefully everybody's feeling like the relief of that. I know I am. Okay, we have the Four of Swords, which is about recovery and retreat. And so you've gone through a lot, and it's time to just kind of relax, rest. We're also in the last days and moments of Mercury retrograde, which is a time to recover and retreat. Okay, so don't really make a lot of action. Just rethink, redo, retreat, recover, and just take this last week or so of March to just, rest so that you'll be ready for what we have coming up in May, and we'll do a reading for that coming up soon. Next thing is we have bondage. Now, this is a major arcana card in this deck, which is called the Oracle Tarot. So they don't have everything listed the same way as you would find it in a traditional tarot, but the bondage represents the devil, right? So vices and things that hold you, that you're holding you back, that, addictions and things like that. And so if you think about it, Taurus, what are your bondages that you create for yourself? Is it money, lack of money, spending too much money? Is it drinking or drugs or sex? Or it's the bondage that you have the control to fix, but in order to fix it, you have to identify it. Okay. Or maybe you've, had issues of control, like it says here, right? And maybe overindulging or having too much freedom and using it in ways that don't serve you. And so what you need to be doing is severing these ties, resting and recovering and recuperating. And then finally, we have the Justice card, which was upside down, but it's about honorable choices. And so, yeah, maybe you haven't been making the best choices and the most honorable choices. But right now, instead of beating yourself up over it, we're going to rest, recover, retreat. We're going to rethink, right? Again, use these last days of Mercury retrograde to redo and reevaluate. And then that way we can go into April. We can go into April, approaching, Taurus season, ready to, be free of all these things and have actual freedom and not bondage. Okay. And not be controlled by others or things or bad choices, and have true balance and true justice. Okay. So that's what we have for you guys. As always, I love your comments. I love to hear how this was meaningful for you. And, if there's anything or if there are questions or clarity that you want, just leave those below. Give me a thumbs up. It's so important. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And we'll talk to you guys in May. Okay, bye-bye.